Greetings to another video. Right, today's video is not going to be the most exciting, but it could potentially help save you from having a really bad injury, and it's all about, is your helmet safe to ride in? And the reason that I want to talk about this is this time about 4 years ago, I had a really bad crash. I was in a group ride. It was raining, the guy in front of me didn't see a pothole. He went down, I went into the back of him, and we're going really fast because it was a flat road. And basically all of the force when I fell landed on my head. I had a tiny little graze on my hip, but honestly my head took the impact of that, and thank God I had a helmet that was safe, that was well fitted. And I mean, even then it was still a real mess. I had a bleed on my brain. It was a subdural hematoma, and I'm just so grateful that I had that good helmet. And yeah, I just want to prevent anything from happening to any of you, because this time of year you've got potential for ice, you've got slippy leaves, you've got wet roads. Please just listen and just, yeah, take some of this advice. So basically the first thing is, actually let's get on to actually how they're meant to fit, because I see so many cyclists out and the helmet are just not fit properly. And I actually stop and tell people, I might look like I'm just interfering, but I'm like, I just don't want anyone to have a crash and then their helmet not be fitted properly, because there's no point wearing one if you're not wearing it properly. So, because I see people and they're like, the helmets are like hanging off the back. Like, you want your helmet to be, oh, actually that's a little bit tight for when else I had it on. You want the helmet to be on your forehead, so it's going to protect your head and your forehead if you have impact. Tighten the back, you'll have a boa somewhere on it, sometimes on the top, sometimes on the back, but you want that tight enough so that it doesn't come off even without having the strap closed. And then the strap you want to be on, but you want to be able to put two fingers. This probably could do with a little bit tighter, but you want to be able to put two fingers under it. So that's how you just wear one. But now we get on to the actual helmet itself, because they're not all created equal. So in the UK specifically, they all have to meet a specific standard. So the base standard, and I think it's called EN 1078, that they all have to comply to. But just because they comply doesn't mean they're all equal in safety. So I found this amazing, I can't remember who told me about it actually, this amazing website. It's actually called Virginia Tech, and it's a website, it's a university that basically rate lots of different mountain bike and road cycling helmets. It's completely independent, and they basically put it through, I think it's, how many tests is it? Let me get it up, I'll show it you. 24 impact tests and rate them, and they are not all based on cost. So I just always assumed that the more expensive a helmet was, the more safe it would be, and it's absolutely not the case. This is the website, and it says our ratings are independent objective assessment of helmet performances for consumers, free from manufacturer influence. So basically they have, so you've got all mountain bike, road, urban, multisport and full face helmets. And what they do is they rate them, so they'll give them how many stars, and basically the lower the number, the more safety rated they are, the better they respond in the impact tests. And for example, on cost, so you've got one, this is a P2R A20, $55. That's number 7 rating. And then you've got one that's $450. That, I mean, it's still really good rated, but the $55 one is rated higher and better than the $450 one. So it's not necessarily about you have to spend more money. And you can search helmets. So just for example, let's search, well, I know mine's there. I'm not linked to any brands, by the way. So yeah, Giro, that's the one I've got. And so you can go and find out how well rated your helmet is, and then potentially just even find a better rated one that's not as expensive, because again, like the cost doesn't necessarily mean that they are better for safety. And the other thing that I would mention is, if you have had your helmet and you've dropped it or you've knocked it or you've been away with it and I don't know, it's just got bashed around, you need to buy a replacement, because the main reason They are made from, it's kind of like a polystyrene. I don't know what the actual technical name is, but it's meant to crush on impact. Can you see there and there? That is the side that hit the floor. So that has all compacted. So that's how it's normally. And that is called EPS, it's expanded polystyrene. And that's it where it's kind of crushed together, and it is meant to do that. So the reason it's meant to do that is it's meant to kind of take a lot of the impact. So if you've had an impact, not when you've obviously crashed, some of that polystyrene will have been compacted together, and that's the thing that protects you if you do crash. So if you've knocked it, some of that polystyrene has been pushed together, crushed together, and you're going to have less cushion, if that's the right word, if you do crash. Because mine, it was probably like that thick, and like after the crash it was so thin. Obviously it had done its job, but that's what it's designed for. So just protect your head. As cyclists, we spend so much money on so many like fancy things. Like, yes, you might have really nice kit or you've got a fancy jacket, but the helmet is just the most important thing that you can ever spend your money on. Because, and I know firsthand that now, because when I look back at that, it just scares me. So I'm like, I've always want to look after my head. Spend your money. If you want to ask for one for Christmas, please just look after your head and wear your helmet properly, because you just got to look after our little heads, haven't we? I sound very serious, but obviously you can see from the footage, it had a massive impact on me. They told me that I wouldn't be able to ride my bike for 6 months. Luckily, it didn't take that long, but just don't. And then I guess the other thing is, if you can help going out in the wet and the ice, go on Zwift, because I just don't want to go out and I don't want to risk that anymore. So please, 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 just have a look at this website. It's fantastic. One last thing as well, helmet manufacturers say that you should replace your helmet every 5 years. So if you've had a helmet for years and years and years and it is looking a little bit battered, please treat yourself to a new one. Like that one, $55. Like, just please go and look after your head. I'll also leave the Virginia Tech website. You can go and check your current helmet, and if you are looking for a new helmet, definitely go and check that out. So yeah, I think that is it for this video. I will see you very soon. Thanks for watching, and please just go and look after your head. It is a precious little face and skull and brain. Let me know if you've got any other questions in the comments, and I will see you all next video. Okay, goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Bye, bye, bye.